Welcome, my friends, and thanks for joining me today. I'm Lorna Schumann with the Illinois State Museum, and today I'm at the Research and Collection Center. That's the place where we keep all the objects when they aren't out for the public to see. And today, we're going to talk about living and non-living things. I know it seems pretty simple, but if I asked you, how do you know if something's living or non-living? What would you say? It's a lot tougher than we think it is. If we think back to how scientists give us those questions that help us define what group things go to, then it might be a little easier. So if we talk about living things that are alive now or were once alive, there's three basic things. One, they grow and they change over time. Two, they get things like food and water that help them grow. And three, they create other things like them, whether they be babies or seeds, but that's called reproduce. Non-living things don't grow. They don't use food and water or other nutrients to help them, and they can't create others of them. So as we go through and look at all of the things I have in front of me, we're going to figure out if they're living or they're non-living. And if they're living, we're going to put them on this side. And if they're not living, we're going to put them on this side. So that's something to think about, okay? Are you guys ready? I want you to point to each side when I hold different things up. So let's look at our first object. This is my turtle. Does the turtle grow? Does it get food and water? And does it create others like it? Is it living or non-living? What do you guys think? Point to the side that you think it is. Everyone who guessed it's living? You're right. It goes on that side. Well, let's look at this. This is a rock. Is it living or non-living? Think about the big thing. Does it grow and change? Does it create others? It's non-living. Good job. Well, my friends, let's look at some of these others and see if you can remember. Okay, ready? How about this frog? It looks like a real frog, but it isn't. It's a stuffed animal. So is it living or non-living? Point to the side. Non-living, living. Ready? Good job. It's non-living. Exactly. Well, let's look at this. This is a fox squirrel. Is it living or non-living? Point to which side you think it is. If you said living, you're right. It is living. Good job. Well, let's look at this. This is a sunflower plant. Is it living or non-living? Which side do you think it belongs to? Good job. It's living. Well, let's look at these other things. This right here is a toy that we have. Is it living or non-living? Which side? Good job. It's non-living. And if we look at my plastic toy ant, even though it looks like a real living thing, we can all agree it's not living. This last one might be hard. This is a fossil. One of the things about living things is they had to be either living and alive at one point or they once were living. So when we look at this fossil of a plant, is this living or non-living? It can be a little tougher with fossils, but it once was living, so it goes in our living pile. Well, I hope you learned a lot about the difference between living and non-living. Remember, it's pretty simple. Is it growing? Is it getting food and water? And does it create others? Those are the three basic things. Well, thank you for joining me today, my friends. Take care. See you next time.